Okay, so I'm here with a fantastic story. I only found out on the night when I was doing commentary at Chaos. We've got Caitlin Dunne and we've got Chris Dunne as well. We're going to talk about their story. They both fought on the same card. They both won. It was nice. I think the picture Nikki Coyle caught of you two, or maybe it was Nikki, was one of my favorite photos I've seen from a show lately. Just the emotions of it all. But when I heard about it, so I thought it was really good. So I want to have you on. Thank you very much for joining me. I really appreciate your time. How are you feeling? Chaos is about a week and a half, 2 weeks out, removed from it. How are you feeling about the event and how everything went that night?
I'm feeling great now. I really enjoyed it now. It was good to get fighting on the same show as my daughter and I never really thought about it until after the fight that everybody came up to us and said this is great, that this was happening. And that was nice. There's some buzz now. I said I would never do it again, but never say never now. It was that I enjoyed it.
Yeah, I thought it was unreal and still buzzing from it. Like so, and think the post I put up a couple of days before, think like about how we won our first world titles together, and then going into MMA, being the same MMA card, and then getting the chance to coach him as well. I didn't find out till the night that I was in his corner, so I thought that was unreal as well.
It's good now to have you there.
Yeah,
Because if I do anything wrong, she would scold me. I know not to check it on.
It was her time to give out to you for once.
You're right.
yeah.
You're right. We always listen.
And obviously, what did it mean? Because obviously, I seen what it meant to you, Caitlin. That like that picture I said that Nikki took was fantastic. But I don't know. I think so. Was it yourself saying, Chris, that something like that hasn't been done in a long, long time? How did this
I was
all
cool.
kind of come about that you did it together?
Well, Caitlin done the Virtus. Uh, we joined CBJJ then back in January, and then she decided to do Virtus Alpha Project. And when she done it, I just seen what happened that night and the whole buzz of it, and I thought, God, I would like to do that at least once in my life before I retired. And that's how it all came about. I just joined the Alpha Project season four, was it? And then I just started training with Daniel and Andy and Leon. One thing led to another, and there I was doing the walk. Cool.
And Caitlin, how did you? Is that how you entered MMA as well through the Alpha Project, and then you fought on Virtus, was it?
Yeah, a boy from our kickboxing club said that they were having a BJJ beginner program, and we joined into that. And then there was chat like a couple of weeks later, like they're all doing this like from like beginning to nothing, like to get in the cage, you know. And I kept saying to my dad, "It's like, oh, I think I'd like to do that, like just to change up from kickboxing." And then next thing you know, that I was matched, and I was like, "Oh no, I have to do it now." And then come the night though, it was unreal because I think at the time we had maybe 10 on the show or something. It was just a buzz, all the boys trained with for weeks, and then seeing everyone walk the cage, it was class.
With your kickboxing experience before, when you went over and you tried MMA, like, and obviously I've seen you fight now. You fought Gemma, you fought on Chaos, and obviously you're going to be looking forward to more shows. Are you going down MMA completely now, or are you going to keep kickboxing as well, or you could duel them, or what's your plan going forward?
The plan is MMA, but I think I'll always keep like kickboxing on the side. It's good for the striking and the movement and stuff. But I haven't competed in it since the beginning of this year. But I hope like to do the odd competition, maybe in between fights and stuff next year. Just always keep it there. Obviously, I love it. Like I've did it for 10 years, but like the goal is like MMA.
And if you don't mind me asking you, is there any reason for that? Was it just when you went in, you felt it, or is there any people that you look up to? Because at the minute we've got obviously some really good female fighters. You've got Shauna Ban in the UFC, Danny McCormick. I think she's not fighting because she just had a baby. She was Invicta champion. Emma Darcy, who unfortunately lost her recently at Cage Warriors. Was it the actual sport, or was it anyone you were looking at, or was it just when you kind of because people say when they do BJJ, they just get hooked and then they get hooked into MMA. What was it that kind of like made you think, okay, MMA is the route now for me?
I think with the kickboxing that I kind of went like as far as I could in it, and I just wanted like a different challenge. And then obviously the likes of Shauna Band, she came from being a points fighter, and like I seen that it was possible, like, and she was doing obviously really well in it. And the like Seymour Darcy, we watched her fight as well. She's unreal. Like definitely all of them definitely inspired me. Chloe Croucher as well. Been training with her a bit, and she's doing unbelievable at the minute. And I just like there's a lot of girls in the sport, and it really like helped push me into it.
Yeah, Chloe Crozier, I'm glad you kind of mentioned her because I wouldn't have thought of her because she's about to go pro. But for me, I've watched her from the beginning. And for me, it was the last year, the year before, she was probably the most improved fighter. And if you look at the top talent she bet, like Sarah Elliott Sheridan, Ava Cruz, these are all top girls that have been around a while. Chloe came in and she's just been leaps and bounds that she's been improving, and it's good to see. But back to yourself, Chris, with the Alpha Project, going into it. I've seen the kind of the prototype of it is in all different gyms. They call it different things as well. What was it like going in for you? And I'm not calling you old now, but as you obviously it's fighting is kind of a young person's game, kind of coming in and they're starting from 10, 12, whatever now. How did you feel going in, being one of the older people in the group, if you don't mind me saying that?
Well, I didn't feel as much pressure because if I lost, I was the oldest, you know. That's the way it is. But no, I joined martial arts when I was 36. You know, and people told me then I was too old, but if you tell me I can't do something, then I'll do it. You know, I like to prove people wrong, you know. So I went and tried it, and people heard about me looking to go and do it and thought, you know, friends and stuff says to me, geez, you're not wise, trying that, you know. And that drives me forward for some reason. That's Caitlin as well. If somebody said to us we can't do something, you know, we'll do it to prove them wrong, you know. It's just the way we are, it's the way we're bred. But no, I felt good going on there. I really enjoyed it, you know, the training and the people like Daniel and Andy and them, they're so easy to listen to, they're so easy to coaches, you know, the things they say and do, it's handy to pick up, you know. It's a whole new sport and just something really look forward to. And that's what it's all about. I loved it, just every minute of it.
Yeah, and like that, there was other older people that would have been from different gyms. Brian Coyle, who fought for the second time, obviously his opponent. There's another, I can't remember the guy's name, but I was talking to him about doing an interview as well. And I think, like you said, when people say you can't do something, I think, especially at like 36 or whatever, there's a fighter, Paul Reed. I don't know. I'll send you on his profile after. He started fighting at 35, and I think he was 40 something when he finished, and he had so many pro fights, and he had a winning record. He wasn't like a journeyman. Do you think that a lot of people think that their age in themselves is a mental thing, that they limit themselves because of their age, that if you actually put your mind to it, you can, and you proved you went out and won that you can do it, that it's a mental block, and a lot of people just don't have the balls basically to go in and do something like that because it's not an easy sport.
Yes, age I think stops a lot of people, but if you take the time and go to the gym, make the time and turn up, if you turn up, you can achieve anything. The nights are set out in front of you and somebody says to you, right, this is what you have to do. Turn up just it's a lot easier to turn up. There'll be bad nights, good nights. There's nights I'm getting a head chomped off me, you know. But there's nights you're doing okay, you know, you get a wee buzz out of it. More bad nights than good nights, but you know, a couple of ice baths, a couple of saunas, you're not feeling too bad. You're achieving something. Like I started there back 10 years ago and I used to sit and watch soaps every night. I haven't watched a soap since I started. I'm training every night now, you know. I tell that to everybody that same line, but it's true. I haven't seen an episode of EastEnders in 10 years. So I'm out there doing it and along with Caitlin, you know. I started off watching Caitlin and then I ended up starting it and that was it. Like couldn't stop. So yeah.
Yeah, I haven't watched EastEnders in about 20 years since I actually lived in the UK. And like I said, going out and doing something productive in the evenings, and that's not against people who still watch soaps. But going out, getting that done. But you said something really nice there that I kind of want to pick up on and ask Caitlin about. The fact that he watched you and kind of you inspired him to compete. How does that make you feel?
Yeah, it's unbelievable. Like when sat back, like just thinking the before chaos and all, it was just like how far we've come and all from I think it was like you kind of said to me and was like, right, you need to do a sport here. And he actually pushed me towards doing Gaelic. And I was like, no, I want to do the kickboxing. I think my cousin was in it at the time. And then it just started from there. And he just was down every evening watching me anyway, because I was, what, 12 when I started.
Mhm.
So he's down watching anyway, and then it's just slowly started. But I think it's unbelievable that I inspired him to do that and get into his martial arts journey, because it's usually the other way about. So it's pretty cool.
Yeah, I was actually sitting there on the bench watching her, and she sent the coaches down and says, "Oh, Caitlin told me that you're looking to start," and I was like, the next thing a week later, I had the new gloves on me, the new headgear, and I was up there getting battered basically, But I loved every minute of it since, keep the head down, keep swinging, that's how it is. Well, that's great, man. Living the dream, just maybe 30 years too late. It's happening, so I can't complain.
Yeah, but like you said, the fact that you get at any age you can do it. Obviously, when you get into like to be different rule sets, or you like find someone. I went training before. I said I'm gonna do a class, and there was like 19, 20, 21, and they absolutely. I was like, you know what? It's not for me, right? Once that you have good partners that are mindful with you, stuff like that. You can go and do it for as long as you want, and that's one of the beauties about jiu-jitsu as well, is you can compete into your late 50s, 60s. And
Yeah,
jiu-jitsu guys will always say that. They'll always say it's the least aggressive or kind of violent one while they're standing there with their knee brace, their neck brace, their shoulder popped out. They'll say it's the safest one of the combat sports, but it depends on if you're competing or not. But in relation to the Alpha Project, going through it, what would be the biggest positives from and it doesn't have to be just one, but from each of you, what did you find the biggest positives from it?
What do you think?
Um, I think the Elf Project helped like everyone in the club kind of bond, because we all had the one goal, like we were all fighting on the same night. Whereas like sometimes it can be lonely, like if you're the only one who's in fight camp, and like you're the one that has a show coming up, so everyone kind of slacks off on their training because they don't have anything. We had a big group, especially this time for Chaos. We had 14 fighters, so it was a big group of us like coming in every Sunday for the extra sparring, and everyone pushing each other along, and we were doing like fight simulators and all. So I think just the bond with all the boys that like didn't know like 10 months ago, and now some of them are really good friends.
And yes, that's the same for me. It was good to, especially the last week coming up to the Alpha Project. Everybody was in such a buzz with. We all went in and went to recovery together and stuff, and done the ice baths and got all ready. And it was just a good buzz that week, and good bonding for the whole team, to get together and support each other that night, which I find brilliant. With some roar whenever we were coming out doing the walk. It is just something you dream of doing, like, or you watch on TV and you think, you know, could I do that? Could I do that? I'd never be able to get that chance. But having those shows around Ireland, it's brilliant that people like us can get a chance to do that and feel that for one night. Brilliant. I would tell anybody now to give it a go. If they're interested in fighting.
Yeah, because I think there's with the Alpha Project, there's about four gyms involved now. I believe I can't remember exactly. I know Evolve, uh, yourselves is Causeway involved as well, or
Yeah, and Omar.
and Oma. Obviously, that's where it kind of started from. So, like, there is that opportunity for people in those areas, and in other areas. So, for people who are watching this, that might be inspired to take up. In January, there's always going to be beginners classes in January. They usually last maybe 12 weeks, 20 weeks. It could be whatever. So, if anyone is interested, check your location, check the gyms nearest you, and if you're unsure, actually shoot me a message, and I'll be able to point anyone that's interested in the direction of what gym and what courses that they have. But for yourself, Caitlin, going on, it's like that. It was a fantastic story, you fan, and a great night, and I immensely enjoyed it. It was just such a feel good moment, just being around it and commentating on it. But for yourself going forward, you've had a busy year this year. What's your kind of plans for next year? Obviously, nothing set in stone, but like, what's your kind of goals or ambitions for next year?
Well, I have amateur debut. It's set for March on that Sigma, the all women's show. But before that, I hope to get into a few grappling competitions. Now I got my blue belt is promoted there. Hope to just obviously be tested against very, very good girls, and I think that'll help improve my jiu-jitsu for MMA. And then throughout the rest of the year, hope to get at least like 3 or 4 fights in, at least, hopefully more.
And for yourself, Chris, will we see you fighting again next year? Is it something you're planning on doing, or was it kind of that one and done, or would you like to do it again? Maybe come in on the Alpha Project and maybe compete against someone again.
My wife told me it was one and done on the night. That's the exact word she used. Like just when you said that there, and I said, "I know, boy, that's it." But now I've got the bug. Just told her last week that I'm thinking of doing it again, but I can't do the Alpha Project. Andy was trying to match me there. I'm in Australia visiting my daughter, so I think I would like to do maybe another fight with Chaos in May. I'll keep mine a wee bit farther apart. It takes me longer to heal, but well, I'll give it a go. Hopefully, well, we'll see how it feels, but the only time I can get a chance.
Yeah, because like I said, no time is better than the present, and like that, if you have that feel, you have that bug, and then 5, 6, 7, 8 years time down the line when you might not be feeling like you're feeling now, so like in good shape, ready to go again, um, you might regret it, that sort of way. But I'm not saying that because I don't want your wife to give out to me for encouraging you. So this is he makes his own decisions, but on the terms, I actually want to kind of loop back to that as well in terms of fitness and stuff like that, even if it for someone wasn't to compete, would you recommend people to go and train some sort of combat sports, Chris, that would be kind of, I hate saying it, on the older side, that might think that it can't be done, you can't get in shape, and how does it make you feel to get into the shape that you did and be able to get in the cage? And what would you say to someone if they were on the fence? What would you say to kind of push them towards training, whether they compete or not?
I would recommend it. Now, I'm always trying to push my friends and my relatives and brother-in-laws. I'm trying to get them all into kickboxing or BJJ, whatever they want to do. But it's just great to go to the fitness and meet people, and it's great for mental health and for men out there, ladies too. But to get out and about because everybody doubts themselves. And I just think it's great, that we can all go to a class and enjoy ourselves and meet other people. And that's kind of what it's all about at the start. For me, I joined for a bit of fun, and I ended up my black belt in kickboxing, gone up through the belts in BJJ, which I recommend for older people. It's just really good. Like it's really helped me, like my movement and my legs and everything. It's a lot easier in the body. I think BJJ. Some people would say it isn't, but definitely is for me.
I don't know. I done one class and that was it for me, so I can't really go into it. But in terms of, and I like what you said there about the mental health, because obviously in the times of today where cost of living and there's all these different factors in life that has made life very difficult for a lot of people. It's an outlet as well to go in. Like you said, there's bonds with people. People might be going through similar, might be going through something else to help the bond and to help it. Because I think Jordan O'Neill runs, I think it might be near you. Jordan O'Neill runs, I think every Friday night is at 7 o'clock. He runs a free class for mental health for MMA, which I think is really, really good as well. And I think the mental part of fighting, especially, doesn't really get looked. I think it's coming into it more, but I think it gets overlooked. Like if you hurt your leg, you go to the doctor. If your head's not right, you should go to the doctor. You should speak up and you should get looked at as well. But no, I'm like, I would be looking out for yourself on Sigma because I actually seen that show. I've been talking to the person who runs it, and hopefully I'm going to do some interviews and stuff coming up. So for your amateur debut, I'd love to have you on, Caitlin, for yourself and talk about it. Obviously, with your amateur debut, it might be a bit. Sometimes people don't they do want to do it, they don't want to do it. I'm here as an option, not as a necessity, and I'll always be here for fighters if they ever need anything. Chris, I want to say congratulations. What you've achieved and what you've done is fantastic. And the fact that you done it together and made that night so special. And it was one of those things I don't really get like kind of thing, but that really hit me. Do you know the sort of way I was just kind of like, this is just a special moment. And I would just want to say congratulations to both of you for what you've done. And I'm looking forward to see what comes next. I'm going to let you go, but is there anything you want to say before you go? Or anyone you want to shout out or anything?
Just want to thank our coaches, obviously Andy and Daniel. Like they made it possible, obviously with Andy and Jason running the show to get us both on it, and just even the mental aspect of it. Like Daniel and Andy's helped us so much, like push through hard training, and when you feel like you can't do it, obviously coming off a loss in my last fight, like they really helped, like push me through it, and yeah, big thanks to them.
Thanks to Andy and Leon and Daniel and Team Rhino for getting behind us and supporting us that night. It was a great crowd. And Lamagari, I think, sold 400 tickets. Like, there was some buzz on the night with people shouting from all over. I don't know who they were, but waving them. It was great. Just want to thank them all for it. Thank you, Dave.
Thank you for having us on.
No problem. I really appreciate your time. I really appreciate this conversation. Like I said, I kind of wish I knew about it beforehand, but I'm kind of glad I did get together. Like I said, sorry about the delay. There's a lot of shows, a lot going on recently, but I'm glad we got it done. I'm going to keep in, obviously, with you going forward with your amateur thing, but I'm going to keep in contact with you, Chris, and see how your journey goes in this. If you do go and fight again, and I'll pick you up. But if you're interested, we'll come in at different intervals, different stages, see how you felt. So people, like I said, people that might be a little bit older that want to do it can see you and see your perspective, see the benefits, see the ups, the downs, because I don't want to just show when it's all good and pretty as well. When it's not nice as well, people need to know the positive and negatives because it's not always 100%. It's always not plain sailing. So if that's something you'd be interested in, I'd like to keep in touch with you and we could kind of pick up at certain intervals and talk about it. But Caitlin, you're someone I'm going to be keeping an eye on as well going forward as well because I really want to try and help push the female scene and I think it's being pushed here now at the minute and you can see with the amount of girls competing. But it's been a pleasure to have you both and I will talk to you again.
Thank you.
Thank you, Dave. Chat to you again.